Hey, Gabriel here. Just wanted to give you a quick intro to this video because it goes straight into the meat and into very, very interesting stuff indeed. But to give you a bit more context, so this is a call I've had with another gym owner in Ireland, and in his instance, he wanted to improve the performance of his ads and also to see where was the problem. The thing is, he was getting some return on investment, but he just wanted to get more out of what he invested, and we're gonna dive deeper into, well, finding where the source of the problem was, because it wasn't what he thought initially, and I think it's not going to be what you guys are going to think initially too. But after identifying a problem and explaining him why the ads didn't work as best as he hoped, I dove deeper into, well, what was the issue, how to fix it, and I thought, well, hey man, can I upload this YouTube because I think a lot of gym owners can actually benefit from this, and he was definitely cool with that. So yeah, enjoy this video, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Enjoy, have a good one.
See my screen?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I can see your screen. Incredible. Good.
So these are the two ads I have at the moment, male and female. Um, this one it's okay. It's gone up to 8 now per lead for the female
Uh-huh.
and 11 for the males. So I've got 7 leads.
Got you.
Spend is 8. So that's what I kind of just use this here. I don't. So 77, 7 leads, 82, 10 leads.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've sold 3 programs out of those of 17.
Mm-hmm. So are you guys profitable on, if you take a look at, well, this specific time frame, are you guys profitable on like the amount spent and the amount you sold on the other end?
Yeah, we've sold 1,500 and we've spent 300. So we're 5x on this ad.
Okay, good. That's and on first month. Well, I mean, it's not really on first month because like when are we talking cash flow or LTV based on those members?
Yeah, like they've given me 1,500,
Okay.
uh, and that will have them booked in till September. So
Uh-huh.
we've had 3 signups. I think actually all the signups have been men, so we haven't actually signed up any women. Oh no, we signed up one woman. Actually, we had four. We've had 4 signups. So the woman only paid 300.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've made 1,700 from that spend.
Got you. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Incredible. Well, I mean, on the return on return on investment side, I mean that's definitely good. Of course, there is some you can improve the ads, but what we look at on ads like this is okay, does it make money? If it makes money, we don't touch it. Like even
yeah,
if like you lose a bit of guys in through the funnels, if you get good, if you just like put $1 get like 5 to 7, that's really really good. But I can definitely give you a few pointers on that end to improve that. If you click on columns at the top, there is a real like drop down menu called column performance. If you click on that and you click on performance and clicks, yep. If you click on that, that's going to give me a better understanding of everything. If you scroll then to the right, it might show us new metrics that I can then give you some pointers on. Okay, link click-through rates. Good. And can you keep scrolling to the right for me, please? And CTR all. Got you. Okay, so the cost per click here. Okay, good. Well, yeah, that definitely lines up with what I think. I mean, based on what I see, so just to give you a bit of an how would you say that? Like what those metrics mean. So I don't know if I
yeah.
can like if I can like draw on things, something like this. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I can. So if I draw something here, can you see it?
Yeah.
Good. So this right here, the CTR link click-through rate, this basically means this is like the click-through rate, so the percentage of people that click on your button. So here they're going to be clicking and going on your landing page. And I think the number right here is this is the number of clicks. So this is how many people clicked on the landing page right here.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can take a look at as a metric for the ads. And that basically says that basically is determined by multiple things. Number one is going to be by your headline, the headline you put on your ad. Is going to
Yeah.
also be determined by your copy. Those two things.
Yeah.
So like a 1% click-through rate, and so the cost per link click is 0.44. Honestly, I wouldn't touch it. It's good where it is. Now, if we see that there is a bottleneck, we're going to be trying to improve that a bit. Now,
Yeah.
the click-through rate, all this one. So this is all clicks on the ad. So all those clicks can be, well, somebody, clicking on the see more button to read the full copy, or clicking on the image, liking the image. It's like kind of a metric to see global engagement on the image. So
Yeah.
this is more dictated by how attention grabbing the ad is. So that's going to be mainly three things. It's going to be your, well, if the image by itself, the creative is like the big thing, is it like grabbing and stopping people in the feed? Number
Yeah.
two, you're gonna have your headline. That is like also that's gonna be something that's gonna grab the attention, and the first few lines of your copy. Now, based on what I see here, ideally, I know you can reach a bit of a better results. If it could be something like 4 to 8%,
Mhm.
it would be like very, very, very good. Now, something I want to keep you aware about is usually what we see on campaigns we run to, male campaigns tend to get less results than just women. That's what we tend to see on most
Yeah.
gyms. Women tend to be performing better. So on that end, what I would be taking a look at is potentially testing other images, other like first lines, and trying to see something that grabs more the attention of people. Because here, this is like the most top of funnel besides impression that you can get. So if you
Mm.
increase that, you're going to be getting, well, a lot more clicks and everything down the line. So yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get those, I would say that's going to be the main thing you're going to be doing on that end. Now, if you
Yeah.
can, I'm going to just erase everything. And if you could scroll back to the left for me for a second to show me the link clicks and the number of leads converted. Okay, so we have 10 leads. And could you
Right.
scroll back to the right?
This one.
Yeah, so we have the website leads. Could you scroll back to the right for me, please, a second? So I can see the number of clicks on there. And a bit more link clicks. Good. Okay, so let me do a little bit of math here. So the link clicks, it means that 190 people clicked and went on your landing page, and you've had 10 conversions on that end. So if I'm going to try to calculate the conversion rate on your landing page, which is going to be, it's about 5%. 5%
5%. Right.
conversion rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ideally, what I would try to do if I were like the biggest bottleneck I would see, which is very common when somebody's running a landing page, is going to be the form conversion rate. Right here, it
Yeah.
is 5%. Ideally, you want it, if you are at a consistent 10%, you are doing really, really great. So
Yeah.
that's something I would try to see if you can like simplify the form, make it very simple. What we see is like main thing is going to be modifying the headline. We put a video on the landing page that usually gets it really high, like way higher, the conversion rate on this landing page, and just make it
Mhm.
very, very simple, especially for phone because, well, most people they definitely sign up on their phone nowadays. So just making sure that everything under the fold, which means like whenever they land the landing page, they see the button, they see the video, they see the headline, and they have all the information they need to sign up. I would say that's going to be if you modify one thing only right now, that's going to give you the best return on investment on your time is going to be this landing page. So that's going to be the
Yeah.
main thing I would advise you to take a look at. So like you're really nearly there. It's you're not really far from getting way better results than what you're getting right now. Plus you're making 5 to 7x. Honestly, it's just like the right thing to be focusing on. And I would say main thing is going to be that landing page. Second thing is going to be trying to test different creatives to get that click-through rate all higher. But besides this, man, on the ads, I think that's really all you need to do on this side.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the ones underneath it were the guy that was working with me there. So you can see I'm out like his click-through rate was 53% or
Yeah.
0.53. Like these two were the ones we had running last week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean he was just asking people to like, book a call and stuff. So I didn't really like it. So I kind of didn't really work with him anymore. Um so yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. If I'm working with someone, you know, I think I said I'm not a total expert at Facebook ads, but I know how to set up an ad and you know I think I'm okay. I just need that little, if I'm working with someone, I need them to give me that extra, you know. Um, One other thing was that, what was I going to say? In terms of the targeting, like, so currently I don't really have any targeting, like, as in on interests and stuff like that. I just
Hmm.
have it only on location.
Yeah,
Would you usually do that? Like, have it on
yeah.
location only, and not like have, like, for example, people that like boxing or whatever, like, you know?
No, I mean, based on what we see, it's very, 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 very rare that we get better results from a campaign that is detailed targeting with anything, honestly. The best results we see is just like men, women, you split test which one works best. No interest targeting, just around your location. And that's where we see the best results. The targeting is made in the ads per se, meaning that, for
Yeah,
example, let's say you see that you have a very, very specific target demographic that works well in your gym. Let's say you see that, for example, moms are definitely the best client to get. In your ad, I would simply be talking to moms, like, hey, moms in such a city. Because what you do here is, well, your targeting is made by the ad by itself does the filtering. And, well, let's say I'm like, a young guy and I see, hey, moms in such a city. I'm not gonna be like, well, it's for me. I'm not gonna take a look at it, you know. So that's
yeah,
really what we see works best is gonna be, well, twofolds. Number one, the copy talks to the person in question, and second thing would be the creative matches that. One thing that we see is is working incredibly well is when we have, for example, I've got this CrossFit gym in Texas. Those guys, they tend to actually have a bit of an older demographic, like moms and dads, like your typical suburban area. So that's typically people with higher income and that tend to be a bit on the more age side, like not very old, but more age, and they have more money on that end. And well, the
yeah,
creative we saw what was working the best is simply a group picture, like a hey girls, like just take a picture and that's it. And on this group of like women, you see that pretty much kind of like all the kind of sub demographics. Like you see people that are like more strong than others, like more thin, more like that have more weight to lose on this picture, and it just like represent a bit more the all demographic of the person. So like not only does the copy has to speak to the audience that you want to be targeting, but like if you put, for example, a mom, you can put, let's say, somebody that's coming with their babies at like working out, something like this. It's going to speak to
yeah.
them a lot more. So I would target only with this, but not in like any specific targeting. The only targeting I may be doing is if you do like retargeting campaigns after that.
Yeah, that's
So
something I don't know how to do. Like, I don't really understand the retargeting and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, it's not like game changing usually. Like the main thing is if you nail those cold campaigns like the way you're doing it. Honestly, like for me, the targeting is good. The ad is really the ad by itself is 80% of the way there. The landing page is like 60% of the way there. So that's gonna be, if I were you, the thing I would be focusing on the most is the landing page, getting it to convert at a good solid 10%. Once you're there, it's gonna be really, really good for you. Then
Yeah,
after that, for now, don't touch those ads. After that, what you do is you try to find ads that resonate a bit more with your target audience, which then is going to get, well, more of the leads that you want through the doors, and also, well, more of them to convert to leads. And then because you have a great landing page, then the rest, is history, and you're able to get through that pretty easily. So that's how I would go about this campaign. Tell you what, based on what I see, man, honestly, it, like what we aim to get on most campaigns in the US, because in Europe it's way higher the type of a return on investment you can get. Like technically, your campaign right now, if I was your ad agency and I was getting this, and I knew you were getting like 5 to 7x return on like the first like month, honestly, mate, the only thing I would be doing is just putting all that money back into ads.
mhm,
That's all I would be
okay,
doing. Because
yeah,
especially month, because in the US, because of the ads are a bit, I don't want to say harder to run, but you need to pay more to get the same amount of leads because
yeah,
cost per impression, everything is way higher. Like in the US, like the average cost, like the average CPM here, as you can see right here, is like 5x pretty much. So that therefore the ads gets delivered way less people. You got to pay way more to that to get the same results. But
Could be
Uh,
20 euros or something.
yeah, 20, 25 usually. 15 sometimes, but it's between 15 and 25, 30 sometimes. But
Yeah,
it's therefore like you get way more volume. But
yeah,
on that end, like what I would be doing is simply spending more on that. And I mean, the return we aim to get is usually between 7 to 10x, but on lifetime value, meaning that usually on first month, they get some cash, they're able to make to be profitable, but it's like less of a, it's like more of a snowball game. You just build that snowball up until you get to a point where like, okay, now we've got those past 2 months member and they're really bringing in the revenue to generate those ads. And we pay Gabriel and everything is looking good on that end. But for you guys, especially because well, you are more boutique and you have this opportunity to charge well cash up front, and well, it's even if we're doing like for example like $100 per month membership, it would be like even profitable on not only month one but also on LTV. Like you're probably getting
yeah,
like 20x on this campaign if you take a look at lifetime value of your customers. So if I were
yeah,
you, I would just be putting all my money on those ads, like as much as I would possibly can. And well, the good thing about it is that the more money you put on those ads, the faster you can test. Therefore, the faster you can, see, okay, um, I can have enough data to make the right decisions. Because, for example, with your landing page, I can take your 5% conversion rate seriously because you have enough clicks. But if you had
yeah.
like, for example, like 10 clicks, I wouldn't be taking it seriously. Like
Mm.
what I would do is I would do
I
a
can
new
show you my
version of.
landing page if you want to have a look. I mean,
Yeah,
I
sure. Go ahead. So for now, what I see when I land on my phone is that there is your logo that is taking this space right here.
yeah, yeah.
And you've got like a sub headline right here. Then you've got
Hmm.
your big headline right here. And then you've got another line right here. So what happens is that all the space is struck by text.
Yeah,
Now, what you would want to be doing is simply arranging it in Go High Level. I would reduce the size of your logo just to as humanly possible. You just get it. I'm going to show you before and after kind of thingy. What you want to have is you want the button, the video, everything to be just when they land and they don't have on the page and you don't have to scroll. That's definitely the
okay.
big, big, big thing I would do here. So what I would do is I would get the logo to pretty much have a space like this. So this is going to be your logo. Then you're going to have, uh, so let me take a look at it. Get 50 euros off this week only, just 6 plays left. Book today. Plays, get me stronger learning as a person and techniques of defense. Boxing bootcamp starts this week. Get fighting while learning a new skill. I would also change a bit the headline. I think you have the text you have can be replaced by something. I'm going to type it out. It's going to be easier for this one. But especially when they click on the ad, you want to make the idea you want to have is you just want to hold their end until the end of the thing. So one thing we like to use is going to be you're one step away from, and then what you put after the from depends on the angle from your ad. You have to have continuity from your ad. So for example, let's say you have an ad that says, hey, get your 7-day free pass, for example. I'm gonna keep it simple, get your 7-day free. Then you can say, hey, you're one step away from getting your 7-day free pass. And what I would do also is you can test, okay, having either like an offer focus headline. So something like you can have like you're one step away from getting your offer, or you can do you're one step away from benefits. So that can be like you're going to try to understand, okay, what do people want ultimately?
Yeah,
You're one step away from uh, getting in the best shape of your life. So that's going to be the only line I would be doing is I would test either one of those. Both of them are, worth testing. We see different results based on different locations, but
yeah.
you're going to be doing something like this. And I think that's all I would keep as an headline. For now, I'm going to show you how I will rearrange the page after that. And then you're going to have your video here. But again, like everything
So
has to
with
be
a
fitting
video,
on the
that one
phone.
thing I was thinking about doing a video before, but I was just wondering, is it going to slow down the whole land, like the loading of the page, or
On Go High Level, you can host. Actually not, because it's like an element. Like the whole page is going to be loading, like everything is going to be loading up, and then the video is going to be like poop, it's going to be appearing. But that is going to be depending on the hosting you do. Usually when you do it on Go High Level, I never saw like loading issues with videos. It's pretty good. If you host it on Go High Level, the
Yeah.
video is usually loads pretty fast on that end.
Okay.
So that's not really going to be an issue, I think. Now,
Okay.
what I would be doing is then, so you have your video right here, and then what I would have is a button right here. Now, the button, the problem with phones is that, well, especially on Go High Level, because we use it to build landing pages, so I definitely know that this problem is that, well, like the phone on Go High Level, on phones, you can't really make it smaller. It has to be a certain size. And
Mm.
like if you were to use a phone, it would take like this entire page and you can't really fit anything else here. So we don't want that. So what I would do is on phone, you make a button that when you click it, just gonna click button, it opens up a pop-up. You can click in the settings and make it open a pop-up. And then this pop-up has your phone right here. Therefore, you can save a lot of space and just put all the things people need. And they just
Yeah.
click a button, then the form does the job, and then it's pretty much, well, the same thing from there. Um,
Okay.
that's how we go about it on this side. Now, at you have a countdown. I love the countdown idea. I would keep it under there, so you're gonna have your countdown right here. And now, one thing that I would do is, yeah, you have your countdown, and then you have like little like text above the countdown. That's basically what I would keep as a a first, like what we call above the fold. Um, Now, what I would maybe testing, that's going to be like what's going to determine the main results of the landing page, by the way. Like most people bother about like, oh, like I'm going to change like the text that's like down here. It's not going to do
Mm.
much to your landing page conversions. The main
Yeah.
things that are going to be changing it is going to be headline, the video, and pretty much like all the things that are above the fold. But I would say the main ones are going to be those three. Those are going to be like, if you change those things, are going to be doing the main, difference between what you have right now and what you're going to be having. But
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I thought, yeah, because I mean, actually, that landing page is kind of copied from a guy I used to work with, maybe I think 3, 4 years ago,
mhm.
and I think he still uses that page, just because I've clicked on some of his ads. Like, and he's quite. I don't know if you heard Fitness Marketing Agency.
Oh yeah, I do. I do know them a
Yeah.
bit.
So I worked with them for like 3 months, about I think it was 2019 or something like that, 2020. And they were pretty good, to be honest, but then I felt that they were a little bit just doing the same thing every month. And then that's how I actually learned to do my own things, because I wasn't
Mm,
really getting any after the first like 3 months. It was just like keep paying and like not doing anything new. And
yeah,
also everybody had the same, exactly the same like videos. So like I would click on a video and I would know it's an FMA ad, and like I
yeah,
would see them all over my feed. So they didn't really diversify into like literally including the same like video. They'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm looking for 15 guys who want to, XYZ," and it was just 50 gyms in Dublin doing the same thing. So I was just like, I don't want to just be one of 50. So that's why. But that's what they're doing with their kind of landing page. So I kind of just stuck with that. But yeah, I agree that it's quicker to do, just like, it's better to do something all in one page where they don't have to scroll down.
yeah. And I mean, after that, you can definitely. That's what I was going to be going on. After that, the rest of the page, what you have, I'm gonna scroll down a bit to take a look at it. That's where I would put, testimonials and like
Yeah,
kind of benefits, which is what you honestly what you have.
yeah,
After that, I would keep it that way. Like I wouldn't change anything on the bottom. And second thing I would recommend to is basically what I want to do is at each and every single kind of like section. So you're gonna have like, for example, testimonial section one. So I'm gonna call it like up testimonial section here. So that's gonna be testy session. You're gonna have like your picture, testimonial, you're gonna have a bit of text. Like, oh, like this person, like you. And important thing about testimonials is like they have to be like the person you want, pretty much. Let's say again, we're talking to moms. This is gonna be a mom. And like, oh, like I was trying to find some time for myself, like talking about like pain points they've had. I'm trying to find time for myself, busy with the kids and everything. And I kind of like lost lost the body that I had. My husband like don't think I'm pretty anymore, like whatever, and really talk about, oh, but this gym find actually was the way for me to solve everything, and I'm so happy, and blah blah blah. And at the end of each and every single section, you're gonna have another button.
Yeah.
Like the important part is like each section, like each time I scroll, I have to have a button somewhere to take action. Like that's really
Yeah.
important. And again, the button pops up in the form, and then they fill out the thing. But that's gonna
Yeah.
be. But besides this, honestly, like the rest is good. Like honestly, I wouldn't change a thing on the rest. But again, it's gonna be as this main. What I mentioned is
And
gonna
on the
be like,
video, a video is just like a 15, 20 second, not too long, or
yeah,
like
1 to 2 minutes. One to
oh,
two
one, two
minutes.
minutes.
Wait a minute. I got one that's working pretty well for a CrossFit gym. I'm gonna show it what it looks like. So it's a French CrossFit gym, but it's gonna give you an idea. Now, this one is really like high projection and thing. You can take a look at it, but usually it's just like a promo video, like pretty much like, hey, who we are, what we do, more of a promo video that presents the what like just give me a bit more detail about you, oh, this is what we do, we've been there for this amount of time, we've had this person and this person. Testimonials also can be good to be including in there, but it's just to be like, okay, like I just clicked on an ad, I don't know you, tell me who you are, what you do, what exactly is this program, what results I can expect. Okay, cool. Now handling potential objections here and there. Let's say you see, for example, a lot of people like, oh, but I don't know, like maybe in boxing gyms, like something I see, oh, but I don't know if boxing is going to be for me. Maybe it's too violent for me. And you can have like either a bit of a, sentence or two on how to handle this objection. Like, oh, but we do it really at your own pace. You're not going to be like fighting like, Muhammad Ali or something like that. It's going to be really chill, but you're going to be able to see the weight loss that you hope for. Or you can be throwing a testimonial that basically says the same thing. But yeah, 1 or 2 minute video is going to be doing the job just like you want it to do, pretty much. Either like a high production promo video like this, or even just like a quick presentation, like sit down or selfie video, like, hey, this is Simon from Sport on Boxing Fitness. Just wanted to thank you for clicking on this page. And yeah, just to give you a bit more detail about the offer, what we do is X, Y, and Z. We help this specific avatar get those results in X time frame or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and then you can have like here's just a few testimonials and a bit of just a bit more about the gyms and the people you're going to be meeting in the incredible community we have, and boom 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 testimonials. And then yeah, you in the video you remind them about, hey, click the button below, fill out your information, and you're going to be receiving your free pass or whatever. And I would say that's as simple as as simple as it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it, honestly.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, thanks very much for your help there. I mean, as I said, like I don't know. I mean, I said I think I just really, I suppose, if I can get more people that are, my main thing is obviously the quality leads and people to respond and actually,
Yeah,
click on the ads and actually, like, yeah, I think to click on the ads is not too bad. But I said, yeah, if you're only getting 5% of people when they get to the landing page to, actually fill out the form, which, it's obviously if you can double that, you're getting double the amount of people that you can talk to as well. So it's good.
exactly, man. That's, and again, like it's for me, it's all about seeing, okay, what the biggest bottleneck is, and then you fix it. I would rather, for you, if I were you, I would rather have like more shit leads to handle, but therefore I'm gonna have a lot of more like, well, good leads in the mix, you know.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then okay, now I have a lot of leads, and I just like the handling and lead nurturing is not the best. Now you handle that. Now that the ads are figured out, you have the landing page that is proven to work, and that's you just keep it that way pretty much. Um, and but that's how I would go about it. But yeah, for the leads, I can help you with that a bit. So on that end, again, the most important thing. So what you mentioned for the leads is that number one, they don't respond, and that, but you do
They're
it
not qualified, like
through.
they don't have enough money to pay. So, I mean, one of the options we did before was saying, are you able to pay X, but then they know the price before you get a chance to explain the benefits, which, so I don't know whether that's a good way to do it or, you know,
So you give them the price before they're coming through those.
no, I did before, but then I stopped that because, like, if you like, because it's not really expensive, but it's like maybe someone is not expecting to sign up to like a
Yeah.
4 month course, just they just want to maybe do like 1 month or one class. So if you scare them away saying, hey, it's you want to come to me, it's going to be €400, they're going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
like that's I wasn't expecting to pay for 400 or €500. I just wanted to like maybe try it or whatever. So you kind of, I don't know, what I tried to do then is like just, get them to understand why it's €400
Mm,
before I tell them the price, like
yes.
show them the benefits, and then they're like, oh, I want these benefits, and I don't really care if it's €400 because I really want these benefits. But if I just say boxing gym €400, or can you pay €400 at the start, like before they fill out the form, then maybe they won't fill out the form even at all.
Yeah. I would agree on that end. So the lead quality issue, how to fix it? On that end, one thing that I discovered a while ago is that, well, lead quality, that's why I had so many questions at the beginning, is because lead quality is like, it's not like, oh, just fix lead quality. It's like such a big problem and can come from tons of different parts. And the thing that you got to figure out is, where does it come from? I'm going to go back on my drawing board to explain it to you, because that's going to be very helpful for you on that end. So what the strategy I would focus on doing first and foremost is like, especially right now, because, well, you have still a proven process that is getting you money. So even if the quality is bad, you can always get more volume and improve it after that. But the main thing you should be taking a look at getting is going to be data. Because once you get data and just more people throwing through your funnels, spending more money on ads, then you can make the right adjustments, not only faster, but you have, well, more numbers to tell you, okay, this is definitely the right direction to go to. So that's what I would be focusing on, is getting as many people through this funnel and through this lead nurturing process as possible. So to do that, indeed, while telling them the price upfront before they do coming in, not the best idea. You're going to have more objections to handle on the sales meetings and everything. But I would say that's the best way to go about it. Then, once you get a lot of volume through the doors, what you do is you take a look at, well, first, are we making money or not? If you're making money, then you have two options. Either I'm like, I don't want to change everything. And to some degrees, be aware that sometimes and that's a mistake I did a lot of times, is like, sometimes by over improving things, you just get them to not perform at all. Because, like, for example, I can give you an example for a campaign. Literally 2 weeks ago, it happened. We've had this client. We were getting him in the US a $20 cost per lead. So it's not the best. Ideally, we want it to be between 10 to 15. And but besides this, they were making money. The leads that were coming through showed up, so it was good. The volume was just not really there. So what we did is we changed our ads and we changed the angle. Now we lowered our cost per lead to about 8 to 12. So you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, everything is fixed now. We're gonna get more volume. But what happened is that the appointment booking rate, meaning the number of people that actually booked a session, dropped significantly. And on those guys that booked an appointment, the sharp rate also dropped significantly. Therefore, the campaigns were doing less good, uh,
Yeah,
even if the cost per lead is lowered. So sometimes be aware, because numbers like don't communicate to each other. So sometimes you may be thinking, okay, I'm doing a change on the ads, but the type of people is going to be getting through your funnel is not going to be showing up or booking an appointment. So
yeah,
keep that sometimes in your head, because sometimes you can be like, what the hell is going on?
yeah,
on
yeah. No, you want at the end of the day, you're looking for bookings. It's not about cost per lead, obviously, but the, yeah, it's everything has to be taken into account, I suppose.
For sure. I mean, like, the end results you want to be taking a look at is, are we making money? Like this,
Yeah,
the like, are we making money? Are we making a return on investment? And like, I wouldn't change too many things, but what I would do is, if I do change things, I will make sure I keep an exact copy of everything I'm doing before I change anything, like everything to a T. Because if I
yeah,
see that for some reason it just like changes the return on money we make, I can always revert back to what was working previously. So that's really, really, really important before you do any changes like this. But to get back on the lead nurturing issue, what I would do is just get as much volume through the doors as possible, get as many sales meetings as possible. And then based on the data I have, let's say I see, for example, in my sales meeting, 40% of my objections are on price, for example. Then I'm like, okay, cool. how can I fix this? But it has to be predetermined. So make sure you track the objections you get on the meeting. You track, okay, where are they coming from? What type of ads they sign up to? What did I say on those ads? What was on the funnel? So that you can see, okay, cool. Um, I'm getting 40% objection on price. So then you're like, okay, cool. Now you have two choices. You can add a bit more friction somewhere, for example, to say, okay, cool. Like, let's say, for example, one thing I could be trying is if we see that we get a lot of price objection, the fact that they just don't have the money. Like, okay, what I would do is somewhere in my funnel, I would add a notion somewhere that there's going to be an investment somewhere, you know. Now, the way you go about it, it depends. You can put it in your lead nurturing, so you can, ask, for example, ask a few qualification questions before they do come to the doors, or be like when after they book an appointment. Oh, and by the way, just want to understand a bit more, just like qualifying questions, pretty much. That can be giving you a better results right here. Or you can be on your page saying for example, under the deadline, you can test something like usually the price is like X euros. But now, for a limited time, it's going to be X euros. It's going to be less money, for example. So you give a notion that, oh, actually, it's, you come in, you do a free consultation or whatever, but you're going to pay something. So
Mm.
that can be something you'd be testing out. Or you can put it in the ads. But what I would be looking at when I'm doing a change like this, and of course, when I have the data that supports it, is I would be trying it to put it as further down the funnel as I humanly can. Like if
Yeah.
I can put it in my like lead nurturing thing, because then I can keep as much volume here. Because if I just have like if I cut the volume in like a lot right here, therefore everything is gonna be way more
Mm.
complex to get an idea of the data. So I would try to get those changes done at the further down the road as
Yeah.
possible to not cut too much of the volume.
Yeah.
But
That
and
makes
honestly,
sense.
what you may see after that is, well, actually, I try to make this change in my lead nurturing and just, okay, I'm not getting that many objection. Let's say I've got like 15% objection on price, but I'm getting like half of the meetings. Then it doesn't make
Mm.
sense. So that's why it's
Yeah.
like just a constant adjustments to see what is working for you. But like based on what you are right now, I would just focus on getting as much volume from that as possible. Then bother about, okay, like right now it's really bad. Or sometimes just like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to deal with this, because the volume is good. It's just I'm gonna have to deal with this. And maybe you do like very little changes sometimes. You test little things. What I would do
Yeah.
on that end to do those changes is um, have a what we call a sandbox campaign. So this is you have your male female campaign. What I would do is I would have what we call a sandbox. And on our end, when we have a bit of spare budget, we just do the craziest things in there. Like either we see, for example, okay, main campaign is getting us money, everything is looking good, we don't touch it. We just run it until it pretty much doesn't work anymore. But there is this little thing right here we would want to be improving. And I don't want to break this because it's doing good. But if I can find a solution to this, it could be good. So what I would do
Mm.
is I would allocate a bit of budget in there, which is going to be totally separate. Here you can test pretty much everything you want, and then you can assess, okay, well, this didn't work. Good. You don't have the risk to fuck up your current campaign that is working. And if it worked, then you're like, interesting. You put more budget into that. It keeps
Yeah.
working and gets me the results that I want. Interesting. And then, well, what you can do, if it is proven to work in your sandbox, then your sandbox becomes your production campaign. And then you just put
Yeah.
the budget into this one. So that's how I would go
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's something I was going to try was just to literally just say, I mean, obviously it's a bit, it's just literally give them a straight, bring them straight to a payment page as well as an option where some people might just book in straight away. That could be one of the sandbox ones, I suppose. Try it out.
Uh, Based on what I mean, again, like this is one of the things that then when you realize this, it gets like, oh, but like there is no real good answers because I can tell you, hey, based on our testing, that's what I'm going to tell you. I didn't see it worked really well, specifically for higher ticket gyms.
Yeah.
But again, you might test it and it might work like wonders for you. That's why I'm like, usually not, but for some reason you might find a combination that works for you. That's why
Yeah,
I would say, okay, like it's like, okay, I have my to-do list of things to test, and I will try to have the more probable things that are going to be working at the top of my list. And then if I have like really nothing to be testing that, and I'm like, okay, like I had just had this idea, why don't I do this? Let's try it out, to test those out further down the road. Based on what I see, specifically if you have like a higher ticket facility, like you just can't get a grasp of what you do before they come in through those, you know?
yeah,
And that's what I see. Even like some guys, they try to close appointments through calling, and they do it for the gyms. For us, it never really worked out. Some guys, it may be working really well for them, but for me, there is nothing that can replace the experience you're going to be getting when they work through your doors. And that just makes 99% of your sales process by itself. It's just the experience they get. So I would just get them through the doors, and then you can take a look at what you get from in the data from there. But again, if you want to test it, like prove me wrong. You never
yeah.
know.
Well, yeah, most of my like I think pretty much all of my sales are done before they come in.
Interesting.
Like I don't have. I mean, I will offer people maybe a trial. So the only other offer I do, like I'd say 99% of my sales are done before they've even met me. So,
Mhm.
um, I say like 1 or 2% are like people that want to even just come down to look, or that will say I will say. So let's say the price is 499. I'll usually say what we'll do is if someone is like totally really wants to try it, I'm like, okay, we'll do a week trial for 49. And if you sign up, we'll use that 49 as credit against the 499. So you just pay like 449 after that,
Yeah.
450. So that's an option that I've done. It worked pretty well sometimes for people that were like wanted to try it. But to be honest, like I don't really have people that are like it's either people don't want to pay the 499 or they just don't like they pay it. It's not like I want to. I rarely come up against where people want to actually come and see the gym too much.
Hmm.
Um, reason I don't know. Yeah, I personally for me, I would want to go and see the gym if I was joining the
Yeah.
gym.
Mm.
But a lot of times people don't for some reason.
That's interesting. I mean, hey, that might be something specific to your market. Again, I don't really know. And if it works for you, it works for you. But like what I would do in that instance is, okay, maybe having you know, a survey, or if they say, oh, I don't want to pay the 499. Like really think, yeah, completely understand, man. I mean, I'm not here to force you to try anything. I just want to understand why, because we just want to get better. And you just
Yeah,
ask why 3 to 4 times. And then you're going to
yeah,
be able to see, oh, actually, that's because, I mean, like, I don't even know you. It's obviously sad. Or they might tell you, oh, it's because it's way too much. But you're going to find the core reason. And maybe you find, okay, I've heard across, 30 appointments that 10 times the guys didn't close, they mentioned this. Hmm.
yeah,
And then you might do the changes accordingly. But, like in that instance, I would ask your well-known, the person that didn't close, like why, pretty much. And based on that, you can then make changes on that.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good.